Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. If you're new to the channel, my name is Tarun Mohan and I'm a first year medical college student studying at Stanley Medical College. In this video, I'm going to be talking about biology. Biology is the most important subject in the NEET exam. It has the greatest weightage out of all the subjects in the NEET exam, right? 360 marks out of 720, that is about 50%. Despite biology having the greatest weightage of about 50%, it is definitely the easiest subject when compared to physics and chemistry. But there is one condition in mind. That condition is you have to master the NCERT textbook for biology. If you have mastered the NCERT textbook for biology, it is the easiest subject. And if you haven't mastered, biology is going to be the nightmare. So I just told you the word master. So what is the definition of mastering a subject or a concept? You have to know it thoroughly. You have to know the content by heart, and when you close your eyes, you should be able to picturize a textbook, and when you think of a page, you should be able to know where the diagrams are, which piece of information is located in which line, so on and so forth. The primary concern of the students who are watching this video is not the content that is present in the NCERT textbook. It is about how you're going to be able to retain the information, because in 11th biology, you're going to be learning about 19 chapters. And in the 12th biology, you're going to be learning another 13 chapters. So in total, you're going to be learning 32 chapters. I'm pretty sure that all of you are not facing any difficulty in understanding the content, but you're facing difficulty in trying to memorize and trying to retain the information that is present. So in this video, I'm going to be covering the two important techniques and tricks that I used, which helped me memorize most of the content that was present in the 11th and 12th textbook, and that helped me score 360 out of 360 in the NEET 2024. The first method is something that I like to call networking. What is network? When I mention the word network, the first thing that comes to your mind is something about forming connections, right? Finding the relationship between things, right? That is essentially what we want to do. When we are studying biology, we want to be able to make connections between two abstract ideas so that they are connected together. Many studies are out there showing proof that the role of memory integration in the long-term accumulation of a semantic knowledge base has theoretical implications for our understanding of this fundamental form of learning. So what this essentially says that memory integration, when we are able to integrate various abstract ideas together, then we are able to retain it in our long-term memory further. So now the next question is, okay, now I've understood what networking is, but how do I exactly apply this concept in biology? Let me just show you around 2 to 3 examples of how this networking is supposed to be like. So for the first example, let's just take the origin and evolution of man, since we did the same topic in the last, I think, 2 videos before, right? So let me just show you an example of how I myself would do this networking. So let's just take, since we're talking about man, let's say that man, what is the scientific name of man? Everyone knows it's Homo sapien. Then now I'll start my networking process, right? Okay, Homo sapiens. Where have I learned this word Homo sapiens? Yes, I've already learned about this term Homo sapiens in the 11th textbook. So this is the 12th textbook, but I already know that I've learned this word Homo sapiens in the 11th textbook itself. So now I just try to think where in the 11th textbook, and realize that in the first chapter itself, under taxonomical categories, the first labeling in the table is about man, which is Homo sapiens, right? So I just try to close my eyes. Okay, I learned about in taxonomic, so I learned this word Homo sapiens in taxonomical categories. So let me just see if I can remember it. What are the different taxonomical categories, right? Species, genus, family, order, class, phylum, and kingdom. Okay, so I've got it right. Homo sapien, what is the order like, right? So Homo sapiens is a species, and next we have genus, that is Homo, family, that is the Hominidae, order, that is a Primata, class is Mammalia, phylum, it comes under Chordata. So I've got Homo sapiens right, but now I take my networking to another level. Yes, I remember that the first name, the whole table itself was Homo sapien, but what were the other 3 names? Because I roughly remember in the table there are 4 different names given, right? So first it was Homo sapiens. The second one, it's about housefly, and I think to myself, housefly. Now I try to give the same classification for housefly, right? And it's going to be housefly's genetic name is Musca domestica. The species name is Musca domestica. Genus is Musca. Its family is Muscidae. order is Diptera, class is Insecta. So yes, I've got the classification right. Then what is the third one, I think? And when I think I can't, and when I'm, let's say for example I get it wrong, right? Okay, I'm trying to just recall, but I just can't get it. So then I go back to the textbook, I take out my 11th textbook, and then I realize, oh okay, the third name that was given was actually mango. That is something, but the species is Mangifera indica, so on and so forth, right? So what this networking does is that, see, you just different pieces of information are there. You learned about the origin and evolution of man. You came across Homo sapiens in the 12th textbook. Then you jumped back to the 11th textbook where you saw the same word Homo sapiens. Then from there you think, what have I learned from that Homo sapiens? And you realize in the same topic you learn about taxonomical categories. Then you just test yourself whether you know the different taxonomical categories. Then you think of the table. Okay, in this table there were 4. I know the first 2. What is the third? Then you realize that okay, I'm lacking in that part. I'm not able to recall the third point, right? So this is how networking skill go. And let me just show you one more example, right? So let's maybe take the last, right? Chemical integration and coordination, the last chapter in the 11th. Okay, so when we opened itself, we have the adrenal gland and kidney. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is that when I see adrenal gland and kidney, right? This is the 11th textbook, and yeah, I'm coming across kidney. But have I come across kidney before? Yes, right? Excretory waste and its product. In that chapter, we have learned about the kidney in detail. And when I look at this diagram itself, what is the first thing that comes to my mind? Yeah, I've seen this diagram before. And what is the dimensions of the kidney? The dimensions of the kidney are not given in this chapter, but it was given in the chapter before. And then I'll try to test myself. What is the length? What is the width? What is the thickness? And what is the thickness of the kidney? Right? Different measurements were given, 2 to 3 centimeter, and all those they were given, right? I'll just try to test myself whether I still recall that values. So essentially what I'm doing with this networking is that I'm trying to piece different information, right? I learned about the dimensions of the kidney in the chapter before. Now I've seen the picture of a kidney, and I'm just trying to integrate both the information. And I'm integrating this information together, and when I keep on practicing this method, what happens in the future is that it helps me to retain this in the long-term memory. And let me just give you a third example, right? Let's say you're studying locomotion, right? The first thing that came is disorders. Okay, so the first thing that came here is disorders, right, in locomotion. And I just go through, okay, myasthenia gravis, muscular dystrophy. I spot something, genetic disorder. So genetic disorders, the word disorders. This word disorder seems familiar. In 11th, we studied genetic disorder, myasthenia gravis, and muscular dystrophy. Have you also studied any more other, any other disorders? Yeah, in the 12th, right? In the 12th standard, we studied Mendelian disorders, chromosomal disorders, right? Then immediately I would shift to that, and I'll start to think to myself, okay, so yes, I studied about Mendelian disorders and the chromosomal disorders. Can I recall them? Then I'll immediately close my eyes and I'll just picture the textbook, right? At the bottom of the page, I would have color blindness. Then in the next page, when I flip, I would have hemophilia at the top. And after hemophilia, I would have sickle cell anemia. After sickle cell anemia, then I have the diagram of the sickle cell anemia at the bottom of the page. Next, on this page over here, I will have phenylketonuria. After phenylketonuria, I will have thalassemia. So you can see how I'm trying to just, trying to visualize the entire textbook, right? I'm just trying to check whether my facts are correct. I'm just trying to integrate. Here I learned about disorders in the 11th. I learned about disorders in the 12th standard also. I'm just trying to integrate and trying to train my mind, right, to jump from here and there. Because this is one important thing that your mind must be adapted to. Because in the final NEET exam, the questions they ask is not going to be the questions they ask, the 45 questions in botany and the 45 questions in zoology, they can ask from anywhere in these 32 chapters. After you answered one question, when you move on to the next question, your mind should immediately jump to which chapter the question is and what the whole concept is about. So when you're training in such a method, in the final exam, your mind would easily be, you would have trained your mind easily to jump around from the starting of your 11th textbook to the ending of your 12th textbook, right? And So again, I was just talking about Mendelian disorders. Immediately after that, we have chromosomal disorders. Then yeah, we learned about the different type of chromosomal disorders, right? Down syndrome, Turner syndrome, Klinefelter syndrome, and so many syndromes. As you keep on practicing this day by day, it's going to get better. And whenever you're attending your biology section in your papers, your mind is going to thank you, right? Because you're going to be easily jumping from one question to another question. There's not going to be that much of a time delay. In conclusion, our brain, through integration, is able to form more connections. More connections mean, I say, more interneural connections. We all have that 1.5 kilo brain, right? There's no other difference. We all have that same 1.5 kg of brain, and the only difference that is between the so-called toppers or fast learners and the slow learners is their ability to integrate the information. Now, the second method, it is a very small tip, but it is one tip that I found to be very effective in my life, and that is, imagine you're explaining a concept to your friend. So what do I say so is that after studying a particular topic, what I want you to do is that you can try explaining the topic to your friend, or you can just try to imagine as if you're explaining this topic to your friend. And what you need to keep in your mind is that I'm explaining to a friend who knows nothing about this topic, and I have to explain everything in layman terms. All those complex words that you've learned, try to break it down into layman terms, easy words that you can understand easily, right, without any prior knowledge itself. So what it does is that it helps you to translate all the information that you've learned into your own words. This process alone helps to solidify all the new information that you've learned, especially when you're able to convert complex words into layman terms. I know this is a very small and basic tip, but it's a very effective one. I hope that you guys can try to follow it. So this is the end of the video. These are the two tips that this is the only two tips that I used to comprehend most of the ideas in the textbook and try to retain most of the information that was present in the textbook. And through this video, I hope that you guys can also try. It might not work for everyone, but I just wanted to mention this. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, leave a like at the bottom. Stay tuned for more videos like this. Thank you.